Bank Governor Lesetja Kganyago says inflationary risks are behind the latest 25 basis point hike in the interest rate.
3 members of the committee preferred the announced increase, and 2 members preferred a 50 basis point rise in the repo rate. The implied policy rate of the quarterly projection model indicates gradual normalization through to 2024, given the inflation forecast. As usual, the repo rate projections from the quarterly projection model remains a broad policy guide, changing from meeting to meeting in response to new data and risks.
The central bank also revised its annual economic growth expectations higher to 2% from the 1.7% at its January meeting. But analysts, including wealth manager at Imvelo Wealth Solutions, Siban Joba, are concerned about the rising cost of living in South Africa.
And that ultimately means that your households have less disposable income, more money will be going towards the fuel increases that we're going to be. I think for next month there's an expectation for about 24 rand a litre petrol. That is a big hike for the consumers in South Africa, and that will filter on to your taxi, those who commute with taxis, and your overall cost of living is intended to go up, taking into account these interest rate hikes.
FNB property analyst John Lewis has also painted a grim picture of the effects the hikes will have on the property sector.
25 basis points by itself is not significant, but when you start to look at the previous 2, it's now 3/4 of a percentage point all in all, that starts to become more noticeable, and of course we do anticipate that the SAR will continue to hike at 25 basis points per meeting for the rest of the year.
Black Business Council CEO Khanki Matabane says the South African economic climate remains fragile.
There have been so many other things that happened, especially in the last month or 2. For example, the issues in Russia and Ukraine, they are affecting the increase in petrol prices, diesel prices, and obviously that gets passed to the consumers. Businesses will pass those to the consumers, but remember, businesses are still trying to recover from COVID. So the rising costs are going to put a lot of other businesses that are still trying to rise up. They are going to have no option but to close down. And we can't afford that as a country because we've got a record-breaking unemployment. So what we need to try to do is to preserve as many jobs as we can and create more, because you can't have a situation where we've got 10 million young people sitting at home, increasing every year.
Analysts are expecting the hikes to continue, with 2 MPC members having voted for a 50 basis point hike. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Tumisang Ndlovu in Johannesburg.